Rose or Oasis network, a popular layer one project that did very well in the 2020-2021 bull market. A lot of hype around this project still, but yeah, it's currently 93% down from all-time highs. In this video, you probably know the format by now if you've been following us for the last 2 weeks or so. But I'm going to be looking at this chart and talking about potential price targets, both to the upside and to the downside for both the USDT and BTC pair. When I would like to have my bags packed if I were an investor, bullish signals to watch out for, TP areas for both the USDT and BTC pairs, and why it's so important to take profits along the way. And finally, I'll do a brief explanation between the relationship of the alt BTC pairs, ETH BTC, and the Bitcoin dominance. So if you're not sure about that, stick around and I'll go through it with a quick explanation. And also, if you're wondering what the 5k to 50k is in the title and why we have a watch list of called the LC Trading Challenge, if you join the dots together, it is because I am running a trading 5k to 50k trading challenge on the Learning Crypto Premium. So if you want to check that out, follow the link in the description below. It takes you to our website. You can check out what Premium has to offer. We have a free trial, so if you want to give it a go, stick around if you like what you see, and if you don't, then you are obviously free to leave, cancel anytime. So with all that out of the way, let's get on with it. So of course, this is the final pairing of the 5 pairs that I'm covering for the Learning Crypto Trading Challenge. I've already done ADA, AVAX, Mana, and Soul. Obviously today is Rose. So if you want to check out those videos, go to the channel and check them out. And if you want to follow along for the next series of videos, obviously chuck a subscribe, and if you could like the video while there as well, that'd be great. But anyway, let's get into the charts. Let's get rid of this big scary 93% down arrow and zoom in to the chart a little bit. So what you can see on the Rose USDT pair is we've got a very nice clean range on the weekly time frame. So range high coming in at about 7.8 cents, range low coming in at 3.4 cents, and that mid range coming in at about 5.5 cents. And as you can see, we are very, very close to that weekly range low. And as I've said in all of the previous videos, I've said we are much closer to the bottom than we are the top. So not a bad time to start packing your bags. And that's never been true, or has not been proven more right than on Soul, which has gone absolutely crazy over the past couple of days, especially yesterday. So I made that video, I believe it was last week, warning people to start packing their bags, and yeah, that train is currently flying past the station. But anyway, as I say, with Rose, we are in a very nice position here. I think this is an excellent buying opportunity, risk reward. Of course, if you like the project, you've done your research, all that good stuff. What I'm not doing today is financial advice. What I'm looking at is as a trader slash if I were an investor, and of course what my strategy is as I'm doing the trading challenge. So as I say, if we zoom out, let's take a look at what the returns would be if we were to return from all-time highs from current prices, and you can see it is a mere 1,300%, which is a crazy return. So I wouldn't be getting bearish or greedy and hoping for lower and lower prices. Buying dollar cost averaging around here, I think it's fantastic buy area. So in terms of where would I want my bags packed as an investor or for the trading challenge, I want my bags fully packed before we breach this weekly range high at 7.8 cents. We've already had one deviation of it back here in sort of August 2022. I think the second time we punch through this weekly range high, we are off to the races. So I wouldn't want to be scrambling and trying to get my position allocation once we're already up here. So, I mean, even before the weekly mid-range, you're going to have a fantastic entry, and then your returns are going to be absolutely fantastic. Of course, that's if we get to all-time highs. We may not get there, which is what I'm going to talk about when we talk about taking profits. But first of all, let's get into the good stuff. Let's see where my TPs would be. So first one, as you can see, this area here at around 11 cents, clear level of previous support and resistance in the past, as you can see. And the first trouble area, in my opinion, it's actually where at the top of that deviation that I talked about earlier. So that would be my first TP area just there. And what I'm going to do, you'll probably know the format by now if you've watched the previous videos. I'm going to show you what the return is if we were to get back to these TPs from current prices. So as I say, if we get even lower price and you can dollar cost average and get a better entry, even better. But just to show you how good the returns are, even if you start packing your bags here, and this is where your entry is. Second TP, Slightly higher up here at about 17 cents. Again, clear level of support and resistance. Now, all of these levels are obviously subjective. You can choose your own. If you don't quite agree, that's fine. This is more demonstration purposes, just to show you the fantastic opportunities that are here currently with altcoins, and not to get too greedy about wanting lower and lower prices. Third TP then, slightly higher, 25 cents. Nice clean psychological level, and also as well, look at that clear level support and resistance. Plenty of evidence to suggest that that is a key turning point in price. And look at that, almost a 500% return as well, slightly short, about 485% from current prices. So again, absolutely incredible return. Next TP, pretty obvious one, just up here at 36 cents. So again, you're getting pretty close to there we go, 734%. Real clear level as well. You can see those two big wicks and then the body candle closures there. And then finally, two more TPs. They're pretty obvious now. All these wicks up here at 44 cents. So we got them in November 21 and December 21, January 22. Let's just quickly take a look at what that is. That's about a 900% price move. And then finally, my final TP would be here, right where the weekly candle body closes are at 52 cents. Of course, you can have another TP right at the very all-time highs. As I said earlier, it's all subjective, but that looks like a pretty good area to me. And that is a 10x there, 1,073%. Absolutely fantastic. Now, as I said about taking profits, very important to take profits along the way. A lot of people, especially in their first cycle, don't take profits or don't take enough of them. They leave too much money on the table and then they hold on for too long and end up giving away all those gains. So don't forget what happened with BTC back in May 2021, where we had that 50% correction. A lot of people were caught offside. You don't want to be that person that holds on and holds on, holds on, doesn't take any profit, and then it comes crashing down. And you give all that back. So taking profits along the way, no one gets broke taking profits. And what you can do, you can utilize those profits to either buy back in when we come down and retest levels as support, or you can diversify into other projects, or even just take that money out, pay yourself, put it in your bank, and use it for other stuff. So yeah, definitely take profits along the way. And even if you were to take 10% at each of these levels, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% out of the market, you've still got 40% to run to new all-time highs. And if you're buying down here, as we've seen, I mean, 40% of your position running to all-time highs, that's crazy profit. So definitely be taking some profits along the way. It makes things easier, takes the emotional stress out of it, and as I say, it gives you some money to play with, and doesn't leave you crying at the end of a cycle where you've got no profits left. Let's move on then to Rose BTC. So let's go to the monthly. So clear range we've got here on the monthly time frame. Let's zoom in a little bit here. So as we can see, we've just broken into this range over the last couple of months. So we've got a range high at around 160 sats, range low, which are the all-time lows, at 106 sats, which brings the mid-range in at about 134, which is pretty much where we are right now. Let's break it down to the weekly and start looking at some TPs. So let's try and get a good, there you go, that'll do. So again, similar to Rose USDT, I'd want my bag fully packed before we breach this range high at 160 sats. So any buying between here and the monthly range low, I think, is a fantastic buy. And I think we're getting pretty close to a bottom on alt BTC pairs as well. And I'll talk about that a little bit more at the end when I talk about ETH BTC, Bitcoin dominance, etc. So let's have a look at first TP. Nice, clear and obvious area at around 230 sats. Once again, let's take a look at what that would be. That's about a 65% move from here. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I'd like to just lock in some gains there. And as I say, if you're using altcoins to grow your BTC, who doesn't want a 65% return on their BTC? Load it up into BTC and just keep hold of it. Sounds like a good shout to me. Next TP at 350 sats. Let's take a look. That is a 150% move, and you can see clear level of support and resistance throughout its history. A clear and obvious level to take some profit there. Next level, another clear and obvious level at 470 sats. Let's take a look, and that is coming in at around 238% return. Next TP. These highs here, the wicks, the candle bodies, very obvious level at 700 sats. Nice round number as well. Let's take a look at the return on that, 400%. Now imagine that 4x on your Bitcoin, whatever Bitcoin you put into Rose, getting 4 times back. That is pretty fantastic. Final two TPs, they're pretty obvious. These wicks up here from December 21, January 22, and Jan 22, February 22, as we started to roll over. Again, let's take a look at what that would be. That would be 550%. And then the last TP, pretty obvious, same as on the USDT pair, where these weekly candle bodies close at around 1,200 sats. Let's take a look. And that is a return of 768% on your Bitcoin, which is phenomenal. You're not going to get that in any other market, returns like this. So absolutely fantastic, and a great opportunity and a great vehicle to grow your Bitcoin. Now, as I've said in previous videos, another reason why it's important to take profits is there's no guarantee we get back to all-time highs, let alone surpass them. So especially on the BTC pairs, the one I like to use is the ADA BTC. So whilst we surpassed the all-time highs in ADA USDT in the last cycle, we did not surpass the all-time highs in ADA BTC. As you can see, 2018, we got up to 8,750 sats. In the last cycle, we topped out 6,200 sats. So again, imagine if you were accumulating ADA all the way down here at 400 sats, you didn't take any profits all the way up to 6,000 sats, and then you've pretty much round tripped all the way back down to 800 sats. You would be gutted. So take profits along the way and utilize them effectively is what I'd say. So they're my TP areas for both USDT and BTC pairings. Let's quickly go through the relationship between alt BTC, ETH BTC, and Bitcoin dominance. So ETH BTC is used as a good signal or barometer for the strength of altcoins versus BTC. So as you can see, ETH BTC has been in a downtrend all year. We're currently at these monthly range lows at 0.05367. And so as you can imagine, alts have had a terrible year, and this is a clear indicator as to why. So usually what happens in a cycle, money goes into Bitcoin. That money then rotates into ETH and the higher market cap altcoins, and then into the mid cap altcoins, then into the lower cap. So once that money starts rotating into ETH, that's when you're going to see ETH outperform BTC. And when ETH BTC outperforms, that usually means that alt BTC pairs are performing very well as well. So what you want, that's what we call quote unquote alt season. So that's what you want to see. You want to start seeing an uptick in ETH BTC and a downturn in Bitcoin dominance. Of course, Bitcoin dominance is how much money is in Bitcoin compared to the rest of the market. So as Bitcoin dominance goes up, altcoins suffer, and that's why the charts are inversed effectively. So my personal opinion, I think Bitcoin dominance could get all the way up to 57%. We're currently trying to breach this resistance at 52%. It's looking very strong. Nice short pullback over July and August, and now continuing that uptrend that we've been in since October and November of last year. So I think up to 57%. ETH BTC down to around 0.04, maybe front run it a bit, and that's where alts will bottom out in their BTC pairs and probably the USDT pairs as well. So I think a little bit more downside for alts, but I would not let that put you off starting to dollar cost averaging and starting to fill your bags. Because as I say, once things turn, they turn quick. I mean, just take a look at Sol USDT, for example. Look at that last week, breaching through. And in fact, the other one to quickly show you is Link, which has been on an absolute tear. I'm sure I'm sure you're aware of that. Look at that, absolutely huge run from Link over last week. Look at that, 40% just like that. So don't be afraid of starting to dollar cost average those bags. Check out your alt BTC pairs as well. And if you enjoy the content, as I say, please do like and subscribe, and I'll join you on the next one.